Welcome to my last update for 2020. As we ponder the end of a challenging year, I wanted to take a light-hearted look at predictions made by share broking firms at the beginning of the year to see how they got on. Every year, the New Zealand Herald plays a game where it asks share broking firms to pick their top companies for the year. They are not necessarily the recommendations that the share broker might make for the long term. They also don't charge any brokerage in this game, so that's a factor as well. So what did they pick? This year, the most popular security was A2 Milk. It was picked by 4 out of the 5 brokers. Interestingly, it was the best performing company on the stock exchange last year. This year, not so much. It delivered a return of negative 4.05%. The next most popular picks were Meridian Energy and EBOS Group, which each got 2 picks. That means everything else got 1 pick. That's quite a lot of diversity, which, as you know, we like. The best performer for the year was eRoad Limited. eRoad provides specialist software to transport companies, and it delivered a great return of 56.74%. The worst performing share was Kathmandu, picked by only 1 broker. I guess we weren't doing a lot of hiking and travelling during lockdown. It had a return of negative 61.47%. The simple average of all of the brokers was 7.92%. However, the S&P NZX 50 Gross Index delivered 9.65% for that same time period. Well, that's a bit surprising. The brokers, as a group, performed, on average, worse than the market, and that's before costs. To be fair, given how averages work, some brokers outperformed and some brokers underperformed. But as a whole, they did worse than the market. Now, the brokers might, quite fairly, point out that they didn't get to change their recommendations during the year and that actually some of them outperformed. So why should they be lumped in with everyone else? The problem with that is, how do you choose which one to pick? The one who won the competition last year came in 3rd. The purpose of this update is not to tell you that share brokers are rubbish. That's not true. They play a really important role in making sure that prices are fair. We use them. The purpose of this update is to point out that predicting is hard. Predicting is forecasting the future, and that means you've got to make guesses about the unknowables, like COVID. They will almost invariably be wrong. Any investment strategy which relies on predictions may achieve a similar outcome. A better investment strategy is one that doesn't rely on predictions. My prediction for 2021? In around about January or February of next year, there are going to be a lot of predictions that, by the end of the year, will prove to be incorrect. This is a slide from our client briefing held at the Christchurch Art Gallery in November. At that time, we spoke about letting you know how we were responding to the low interest rate environment we find ourselves in. This is me doing that. And I don't know what investment returns are going to be for the next 12 months. I can tell you in 12 months' time, and I happily will. But what I can tell you is how we will respond to those investments. And we will stick to the plan. We will stay invested. Now, that doesn't mean doing nothing. That doesn't mean not changing anything. As I've just said, we will be responding to the low interest rate environment. We will be communicating with you before the end of the year how we're going to respond. The way that we're responding to this low interest rate environment is by introducing a 3rd hybrid asset category to our strategic asset allocations. This hybrid asset category, real assets, shares characteristics of both growth assets and income assets. That's why it's a hybrid. Introducing this hybrid category to a traditional 50-50 strategy changes that strategy to a 50-40-10 strategy, with the 10% coming from fixed interest. This change will be mirrored across all of our portfolios. We will be in contact in early 2021 to discuss the specifics of the recommendations for you. All of your advisors look forward to speaking with you then. Thank you all for listening. I've enjoyed providing you with these updates throughout the course of the year. Have a very Merry Christmas, a safe and happy New Year, and I look forward to updating you in 2021.